I think this round is really when they start to smell blood. They see, oh shit, let's look at it here. No LeBron, no Steph, no Giannis, no Jokic, no Jimmy Butler. It's wide open. So I think this is really when they start to smell blood and they turn up. I got Celtics in 5, and I think they show an impressive run throughout this series in particular versus Pacers.
That description you just gave of when in the past have they ever shown that?
Oh hell nah!
Welcome to another edition of Hits and Hoops. I'm Tyler as always. And as always, my main man Dixon. What's goody, Chicho?
You're
Today we're here to talk about round 2 and previewing round 3 of the NBA finals. Playoffs. It's been good so far. I think I speak for both of us. And then we got a
been
few other things.
incredible.
We got a few other things to talk about off court. But before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, share our pages on IG, on YouTube,
TikTok.
Spotify, TikTok, and Apple Music. We're all on all those platforms. So I'm jumping right in. I'm jumping backwards. The first series I want to talk about, and we haven't spoke much about this because we kind of save it for the pod, but Nuggets lost in 7. Wolves took care of business. That's what they did. They were
Still
the
on
better
business
they were the better team in this series as a whole.
throughout the whole series.
What I mean, I don't know where to start, but what was the most thing that impressed you?
I mean,
Because we
I
both picked
think
the Nuggets. We both picked them.
no, I definitely did. I had the Nuggets at least making it to the finals all year long, and it was looking that way. Even at certain moments in this series, it was looking that way. I was super ecstatic that the Nuggets lost because they started to have that front runner attitude. They started to have that cockiness, that arrogance, and you really saw it come to light in this series when things start not going their way. You see Jamal Murray throwing a temper tantrum. If it was another player, they would have got suspended for the game because he did throw objects on the floor. That is extremely dangerous.
Wild, dude. Wild.
Two
What are you
two
doing?
objects back to back.
What are you doing, bro?
Extremely dangerous. If one of those players, happens to slip on one of those objects, it could really cause a serious leg injury or anything. So
Yeah, but no one slipped though. No one fell.
yeah, but it's just a possibility. You know what I'm
Of
saying?
course, but we can't also treat it like if someone did.
Right, right. The coach as well. He would, going back to last season, make super arrogant comments, super cocky, boastful comments, whether it was talking about being the Lakers' daddy or, jabs at LeBron, just so really see them get like it handed to them in the fashion that it happened, where it was like took your soul, like grown man, snatched your soul type. It was a thrill to see. The thing that impressed me most this whole series, I mean, even though it was in a losing effort, was still Joker.
Hell yeah.
Because like I feel like he was the only reason why they even got those wins that they got. He
Hmm.
had to be like all-time great versus
Yo,
an all-time great defender.
game 6 was game 5 or game 6.
Both.
He had a third and fourth quarter stretch that had me like my jaw was on the floor,
They said
bro.
he played flawless basketball in that
It
stretch.
was and it was flawless. Not only that, but he was going at the DPOY every
Going at him.
time, post Adam, and
Yeah.
he was doing shit like, I don't think this is blasphemous because in the moment it felt like how LeBron was in those moments a couple years back on those Cleveland teams and the Miami teams. It felt like that, but even a little bit more so because it was like unstoppable, literally.
Right.
Dixon, I mean, Dixon, Joker just knew all the buttons to press.
And it wasn't even like bad defense. Like shout out go bro. Like I
No,
really seen him out there hustling. He was out there trying, defending, but Joker was just unstoppable. So I was really impressed with him, although in a losing effort. And then the other thing I was impressed by was the Timberwolves defense, their tenacity. Like, I haven't seen a defense that aggressive in a while. That reminded me of
Hmm.
like, you know, maybe like Chauncey Billups, Ben Wallace, like that Pistons
Oh, that
team,
throwback D.
like
Okay.
suffocating defense. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
sticky
a great
type of
word for it.
defense.
That's a great word for it. It's exactly what it was.
They were reaching on everything, poking at everything, blocking everything. Help defense was always there. They got the length, and I think overall they just got the attitude. And that's kickstarted. That's led by the young superstar, and Edwards, Ant Man himself. This was definitely his welcome to the NBA moment,
Yeah, I mean, this is
a
gonna put him
superstar
at that
moment
that superstar level.
for sure.
That's how these guys. I mean, Luca did it a couple years ago.
When he made it,
The team was definitely not as good as the Wolves. Like this
I
this
think that
team
was
is.
when he was with Brunson that they made it.
Yeah, that was that last year with Brunson. Man, I don't want to just regurgitate everything you just said, but yeah, that's exactly what it was. Joker played amazing. My biggest, I wouldn't say, I don't know how to put this correctly, but like my biggest disappointment, okay, I put it correctly right there. Biggest disappointment was the supporting cast for the Nuggets because that's why they lost. It's really why they lost.
I really want to talk about that and highlight that. So thank you for bringing that up because that's what people fail to realize. Like versus the Lakers, not only was it Joker and Murray that were all time great, but that supporting cast, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Caldwell Pope, they were phenomenal versus the Lakers. And I'm talking
Yeah,
about going back to last year's playoff series.
I mean
And
it's the reason it's a huge reason
that's
why they
really why
won.
they were dominant. That's really why
Yeah,
they were dominant over them. And real basketball fans knew like this isn't really them. Like in terms of like who they are, like the players aren't this great, like how they're playing versus the Lakers. So we knew it was just a matter of time before they had to go back down to earth. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but they went deeper than Earth, bro. Like Aaron Gordon went from
Hey,
having
them boys went down to hell, huh?
oh
Underworld.
yeah, they went down to the core, bro. Like they passed hell. They went down to the core. I don't know. It's just like how do you score, 30 one game and then the closeout game you score four in Aaron
Yeah.
Gordon. You know what I mean? Case, I mean,
Probably
just
also
everybody
just
was just bricks. I mean,
probably
game
also
seven,
just
Jokic just also had what 37,
30
17,
plus,
and
yeah.
7.
Nah, Murray had a 30 plus game too, but it was
Yeah,
no support from the supporting cast. I think it's just also a testament to the Timberwolves defense.
yeah,
And
that's really what it is.
we definitely got to show love, highlight the young boy, Ant Man from Georgia. I mean, his moment, but I just love his swagger. He got like an Allen Iverson type swagger where he's just him, young boy from the hood, like and he's just doing his thing,
Love to
dominating the
see it, man.
game and showcasing it.
And he's 22.
22, yeah.
How old does that make you feel? Oh, you're
I
not in the 30 club yet, so you're not feeling that feeling yet.
I don't have an age. I got to the point where I'm just ageless.
All right, but moving on, Benjamin. Moving on to Pacers and Knicks. Looking back at them, Pacers won in 7. Obviously, they shot what a historic game 7. I think it was like they were over like 65% or some shit at one
Fireworks.
point. We both knew this what Knicks were doing were unsustainable. So I'm not surprised that they lost. Yes, you can bring up the injuries, but Brunson scoring 40 plus every night and someone else that's not his second best player on the team has to step up every night. There's a difference to playing in the playoffs and in the regular season, and then there's a difference of playing 48 minutes and 48 minutes in the playoffs and regular season, right?
Yeah, intensity is way different.
It's exhausting. These guys must be exhausted. And the Knicks got
Physicality.
worn down. The Knicks got worn down. Pacers have more weapons, more of a a arsenal than the Knicks do as a team. Brunson is the best player on the court. We all can
Right.
agree on that.
Right.
But as a team, and the Knicks were depleted. I mean, let's be honest. You have three top three players in rotation are hurt. Arguably.
Right.
That's very hard to come over, especially in a long series. What did you see in this series?
I mean, I think there's definitely a lot of credibility to the take where like Tom Thibodeau and his coaching style, running these players to the ground. I think it's a double-edged sword. I think he had to do that. He had to maximize his team to get to this point, but he damn near sacrificed all of next year doing that by getting these
Mm,
players all injured. And it's not a coincidence that this happens. It's not a random thing. It's definitely related to that. I mean, you had Josh Hart playing every single minute of every game for a whole playoff series. No one's
incredible.
ever done
Yo,
that.
give
Why
it
do
up
you
to him,
think
man.
that? Why do you think no one's ever done that? Because it's not healthy. It's not a good thing to do. It's not reasonable. It's not realistic. So, that was one thing that definitely stood out to me. Jalen Brunson, I think it was also his. I think we have two players coming to the superstar party, coming to the club superstar. I think we got, Anthony Edwards, his arrival, and I think Jalen Brunson as well, because he was, I think, the best player of the playoffs thus far. He's gone now, so we're gonna see who else carries that title. But I mean, scoring wise, just leading a team. Really, the Villanova boys, though, they had a historic run. That trio had a historic, Sweet 16 type run, like they had one back in the day with the New York Knicks. So that was pretty special to see. But I think the Pacers, I like the way they play. They play a good team ball. I think Halliburton's like unselfishness rubs off. Just the fact that he's a true point guard, willing to pass the ball, pass first point guard. I think it rubs off on the team, and they play really fast pace. So they're definitely fun to see.
Usually, if he's hitting, if he's making his shots, those like little inside shots that he likes to make, and like gets in a rhythm,
Yeah,
they'll they'll fight. It'll be a game. But
for
it
sure.
seems like a lot of the time, if he's not performing, they need like two other guys to kind of step up.
Exactly.
You
And
know?
I think one of the sleeper picks in terms of offseason moves was like Siakam. I think he was a great
Yeah,
pick for them.
yeah. I wasn't.
Battle tested
I've never.
champion.
I'm not. Yeah, he is a champion. Yep, I give it to him. But I've never been like really big on Siakam.
Right. He
I
ain't
don't
gonna
know if
lead
it's
a
just
team by himself, but definitely, key role to a good team for sure, or a team that could get far in the playoffs.
yeah, for sure. I mean, he was part of that Toronto squad. Before Kawhi.
Yeah.
Anything else on this series before we move to round three?
New York, that's it. Hey, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, all that, you heard? Hey, we're gonna be back next year though. New York is looking good. I feel like they don't need to make no free agency moves. They need to keep the exact same team. They need to keep the exact same bodegas. They just need to keep everything the exact same. Lower the minutes, make sure everyone's healthy, and then you got yourselves a real contender. Because they
Nah,
were
they
out,
he
like you
need
said,
Brunson needs help.
three key players. So I feel like if they got OG back, if they got Robinson back and Randall back, all playing, all healthy, all with continuity, they're a contender next year. So I think New
That's
York just got to keep it going.
that's the problem though. They all are injury prone by now. So I just had my first sleepwalking experience.
What the fuck? That's insane, fam.
I woke up to Olga yelling at me, "What are you doing peeing in the dog bowl in the middle of the kitchen?" Olga was on the verge of a fucking divorce. She was yelling at me. I snap out of it. Western Conference Finals. Some of the best series that we've seen. Sometimes they're better than, most of the time they're probably better than the finals. Wolves and Mavs, my favorite series of this year so far. I've been rooting for the Mavs low key on the side,
I
even though I
say
have
that.
beef with the Mavericks. But I just love this Kyrie and Luka duo.
Yeah.
Luka's my favorite, top two favorite players in the league, not because he's an overweight white guy like myself, but because of his game.
Yeah.
I predict this to go to Wolves in seven, but I would love to see the Mavs win, to be honest.
This is a phenomenal series right here. This is a fascinating series. I think the most impressive thing with the Mavs, because we didn't discuss them, just to bring them up real quick, is yeah, we know the offense like is crazy, phenomenal, but the defense they've been playing. Like I'm gonna
Really
need y'all to
good.
pay attention to Luca and Kyrie on the defensive end in these playoffs for the Mavs. They've been hustling their ass off. They've been playing great defense, and just the effort they're putting into it, it's winning basketball. But man, I don't know. I mean, I think I'm gonna have to roll with you. I think I'm gonna have to go Timberwolves just because like they just beat the Nuggets, which was to me like by far the best team.
The biggest test, yeah.
The biggest test. They already slayed them. So um I think it'll be a very interesting series. It's hard to predict how it even go. But it'll definitely be fun to watch for sure.
I think if the Mavs have any chance together, they probably have to average about 65 together.
Yeah,
That's
I mean it's crazy because like the playoffs is, the story of the role players. So PJ Washington, Derek Lively. Also shout out ex Heat player. I like to, always shout out my ex Heat player.
yeah,
Derrick Jones Jr. doing his thing out there for the
hell
Mavericks.
yeah.
Crucial alley oops, crucial stops, crucial coast to coast. I see you, my boy. Off of that Heat tree, off of that Heat
Hey,
family. So
when he came to Miami, he changed as a player, bro. He got way better. Hell
exactly.
yeah. Shout out to him.
So they're doing the thing over there, not just Luke and Kyrie, but the role players as well. But man, I don't know. The Timberwolves got something special to them. They got that sauce. They got that it factor, that swagger.
Yeah.
Like, so I think they'll take it, but definitely gonna be interesting to see.
That mojo that they had in round two has to travel to round three. Because
Exactly.
if they just won their championship beating the
It can't
Nuggets,
be that. No.
can't be like that.
Hey, another part that people fail to, remember or realize is they lost to the Nuggets last year.
Yeah.
They were able to steal one win off of them when Anthony Edwards went crazy, but they did lose to him. So you
Yep.
always got to factor that in the playoffs. You got to remember these are, humans with emotions. And when they lose the year before, they tend to come back with like a sense of vengeance, a sense of urgency.
Was that round one or round two last year? I want to
I'm
say it
not
was round
sure.
two, right? But the Wolves weren't who the Wolves are now.
Could have been a one, honestly.
Yeah, you might be right. Between, but what, because we didn't, like you said, we didn't really talk about the Mavs too much. What have you liked most about how they're playing now in the playoffs?
Yeah, like I said, it's just really the defense.
The defense, okay.
Because I feel
Yeah,
like
those,
Luca
they're
and Kyrie
three.
ain't really even been going off like that. If you
No,
really pay attention to it, like they really haven't been going crazy as
Luca
they
also.
could.
Yeah.
So the fact they're playing team ball and defense, it's been impressive. They really buying into it.
Going into the Eastern Conference Finals, we got the Celtics and the Pacers. I got Celtics in six in this series. I feel like the Pacers will give them a good couple punches in the chin, but
Yeah.
ultimately, I think they take care of business. I think I've when we've been talking, I still think you think Celtics are winning the chip.
Yes, sir.
So, what do you think they go through in this series to get
I
there?
think I think this is when the Celtics turn up. I think the first two rounds was like, still kind of messing around, still laughing on the court, pushing each other around, slapping each other on the chest and stuff. But I think this round is really when they start to smell blood. They see, oh shit, hold on. Let's look at it here. No LeBron, no Steph, no Giannis, no Jokic, no Jimmy Butler. It's wide open. So I think this is really when they start to smell blood and they turn up. I got Celtics in five. And I think they show an impressive run throughout this series in particular versus Pacers.
That description you just gave of when in the past have they ever shown that? Because they've been at this moment several times.
That's the
No, more than a
problem.
several.
Look, see, that's
More
the
than
problem.
several.
That's the problem. They haven't. That's like they've gotten so far so many times just based off talent. But in terms of like smarts, play style, attitude, they kind of shoot themselves in the foot all the time. So if they're the team that I believe them to be, I think this year it'll happen a little different.
What's something that you would need to see? And I know you just said they're 4-1. What would you need to see the Pacers to do to win the series?
I think
You so
Halliburton would have to
nuclear.
go crazy. Yeah, like he'd have to go like 30-12 or something, but I don't think it's happening, dude. I think Celtics are really underrated. Like I've seen Celtics ball this year and it's crazy. It's like they're shooting practice in the gym, fam. They're raining threes from anywhere and everywhere. And the
Yeah.
defense is just super solid. Ball movement, like they're really an unselfish team. That's, I think, one of the biggest leaps in Jayson Tatum's game, although it's affected his stats. His willingness to pass the ball out of the double team, his willingness to create the offense for his teammates, that's really gone a long way. And man, I think they're super dynamic. And Porzingis is going to come back. You know that, right?
Okay. I mean, I understand, but he's
He's
not
going to
back.
come back just for the finals, just in time for the finals. He don't got to rush throughout this Pacer series, but just in time for the finals, he'll be there.
He's the key to me for them to win the championship.
Yeah.
If he's not in, I'm telling you right now, the Wolves are going to beat them. They're going to beat them. If he's not playing, they're going to beat him. I promise you. I've already put money on the Wolves to win the championship. I'm telling you.
Well, he'll be there. So
All right,
there's no
well, let's
ifs.
see. Well, yeah, I mean, like you were saying, the talent heavily favors Boston. What they've done in these super special games, and I hate to throw this out. I'm not even. No, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it.
What the hell?
The teams that they've played compared to everything else, everybody else, have all been hurt and all been a sample size
Yeah,
of what
but
they
they
were.
still 4-1
It's no,
them.
no, it's not their fault. It's not
They
their
still
fault.
four, but no, but they 4-1 them. That's the nobody
Right.
talks about that. It would be different if they took them to 7. Like, all right, bro, you went to 7 versus the Heat without Butler.
No.
What are you doing? You 4-1 them both times. It was like, okay, I'm just playing around with my foot a little bit. I might have got bored, lost the game, like the Celtics have, always done, like you were saying. But I think it was still an impressive showing because in those wins, when they did win, it was double digit wins every
Well,
time.
their counterparts weren't on the opposing spot, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Not saying that they would not go 4-1, but it would be a different series.
Well, shit. Hey, we're not gonna be able to say that this series. Whole Pacers team is
No,
fully
whole
loaded. So
fucking super healthy. Yeah, for sure. So you got, all right, I'm guessing Celtics and who you got Wolves in there.
I
Celtics
got
winning
I got Celtics in 5. You say you got Celtics in 6.
and 6. Yeah,
I
finals
got
prediction.
I got T Wolves and damn fam. I got T Wolves in 7. What you got the
Oh,
T
so you
Wolves in?
got T Wolves beating Boston?
No,
Oh, no, no, okay. T Wolves in 7
versus
and
the
against the
Mavericks.
Mavs. So what's your finals
What you
prediction?
got them versus the Mavericks?
Oh, I want it to be Wolves in 7, but I think it was going to be Wolves in 6.
Got
Unfortunately,
you. And then the finals, shit. I got Boston. That bitch will probably go 7.
I love Game 7, man. It's fucking exhilarating the whole time.
It's insane.
Anything you want to bring up about these games that we just talked about? These series?
Just want to give a quick fashion insight, fashion look on Anthony Edwards pulling up to, I think it was game 6, one of those games versus the Nuggets, wearing what appeared to be like a sweatpants, a zip up athletic
Okay.
jacket,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a tank top, slides and sandals. And normally I'm down with the hood ignorant stuff, but come on, fam.
Next, JJ Reddick to the LA Lakers?
Fuck out of here. Come on, fam. What are we doing? Hey, this what we doing now? Because then if that's the credentials, if you just need to be a podcaster to be an NBA coach, me and you qualify.
But we do understand that JJ's highly intelligent in basketball, and he just came from the game. This
How
is
do
a
I know? How do I know he's highly intelligent? That's my question though.
about the game. I don't know
How
about
do I
what his
know that
politics
though?
are. Have you
Because he's
ever
on a
listened to
podcast talking about it.
Have you watched an NBA game with him on it? Have you heard interviews with him? Have you heard him talk in long
He can
form?
articulate himself very well. He knows the game, but I don't think that translates to on the court success, especially when you see him
Oh,
as a
I'm not saying
player.
that
He was
either.
never the head of any team. He was never the genius of any team. He was always a role player. He was always a catch and shoot plug guy.
Whoa, whoa,
So
whoa,
it's
whoa, whoa,
different
whoa.
if you had
Name
like a
one
Steve
coach. No, no,
Nash.
no, no. Wait, 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 wait.
Different if you had like a Steve Nash who was the head of a team who appeared like you would say, oh, he looks like he would be a good head coach. He didn't turn out to be, but you could at least see like, okay, Jason Kidd, he was the head of an offense. He then them two, you could see like, all right, they could probably be good head coaches down the line. But someone like JJ Reddick, from his playing career to his podcast, I don't think he's shown me enough and has nowhere near the credentials compared to other people to qualify for a job like this.
Possibly a job like this, but name one coach that is a multi-time Hall of Famer on the court.
I just said two of them, Jason Kidd and
No, no,
Steve
no, no,
Nash.
no. Jason Kidd, like, no, you're right about going there, right? But Hall of Famer as a coach, that was a Hall of Famer as a player.
Hall of Famer as a coach, that was a Hall of Famer as a player.
Right. So even though he wasn't a Hall of Famer as a player, I mean, I wouldn't put him in. He was a really good player in the NBA.
Oh, I see what you mean.
But just because he's not a all-time player doesn't mean his knowledge and everything else won't translate to coaching. Because a lot of, Doc Rivers wasn't, he's probably in the Hall of Fame now, but I don't know about if after he played, is he a Hall of Famer?
He wasn't a Hall of Famer when he was playing.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to say is like,
He'll probably be a Hall of Famer as a coach.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he won a ring and held a lot. But that's what I'm
So
saying
you're
is,
for it. You think they should get him.
no, I don't think they should get him at all. I think that'd be stupid. But I'm saying your argument for not him because he talks about basketball and podcasting, I think that's
He
just a
don't
weak
got the
argument.
credentials. That's what I'm saying. And to me, he doesn't have the hit track history or like it's a job. So you have to look at qualifications. On that list of qualifications is not interview skills.
If you want JJ as your coach, you need to blow it up and redo shit.
If you want JJ as your coach, what you're doing is a publicity stunt. You're literally doing a PR move. And it's LA, Hollywood. Gotta remember that. That's always in the play. So that's always in the play. But my thing is when you have other candidates out there like Sam Cassell, assistant for the Boston Celtics, you got Ty Lue, who's coming up on his deal versus the Clippers. I think someone that needs to go to the Lakers needs to be a high profile, big name.
Yeah.
Like it can't be some assistant somewhere because then they just get overshadowed by LeBron. It got to be a big name staple in the game. So in that case, JJ would qualify, but I think ideally the best coach for them would be someone like a Ty Lue.
Ty Lue, Doc Rivers, maybe. Nope,
Right.
that's in Milwaukee. Yo, if he would have waited like 3 more months, he could have been the coach of the Lakers.
That Milwaukee show was a mess.
Staying in LA, Bronny Jr. as a draft prospect. Everybody's seeing the clips and it's cool, man. It's really cool to see LeBron's kid. But
It's
man,
dope. No, it is dope. It brings a smile to my face. It
it's
does.
awesome. It's kind of like, damn,
Pause.
but man, I do not envy this kid at all. I do not. I just don't.
Damn, I feel you.
Just the unnecessary measuring
Hate.
stick that they're putting on him is
Yeah.
just, and I don't remember. I was probably too young and not as the into sports as I am now. But like, I know this is a different age of media, but Michael Jordan's kids didn't get none of this media when they were in college. None of this.
No.
That is LeBron James Jr. Maybe, I mean, people, I just don't understand how you go from possibly the number one pick to not even being drafted. And it just, I feel bad for this kid.
Right.
I do not envy him because he's given a measuring stick that is unobtainable
And
and
he
that has
seems
never
to
been
be like a
surmounted.
good kid. He seems to be like well spoken, mild mannered. So, you feel for the kid. But I'm just looking at it, I'm trying to ignore all that stuff. I'm trying to look at it from a pure basketball perspective and a business perspective at the same time. So I think a combination of that, I think, getting someone like him automatically, you're going to boost your sales immediately, no matter what franchise you are. And then also the possibility of LeBron signing with you. I mean, that 2-for-1 package is definitely worth a second round pickup, if you're a team in that position. And just on combine in general, I thought he did great on the metrics. I do hope that he's able to grow it an inch or two while he's in the league.
Yeah, he's shorter than I thought he was.
We've seen players do that. We've seen D Wade grow an inch while he was in the league. We've seen other players grow an inch while they're in the league. So hopefully he can do that, get to 6'2", 6'3". But he is athletic enough to be 6'1" and still be effective. So that's the advantage. And my most impressive thing with him throughout the whole metrics and the draft process and the combine process was the second game they played, the second day. He led all scorers. So to me, that was really impressive in that second scrimmage, how he performed.
Oh yeah. I mean, shit. I hope he does. I hope he is deserving. I couldn't say he is or not, but by the scouts and people we listen to, he's not. Okay. I mean, it just kind of is
Yeah.
what it is.
I mean,
But
and it's totally reasonable. Like people, reasonably so and responsibly so are going to say, look at the tape. I don't care about the combine. Look at the tape. What did he put up during the season? And the tape barely shows anything. So, he averaged like what, under 5 points or whatever the case might have been.
some
So
shit like that, yeah.
that was the case with that. But if I'm a team in the second round and I have a lot of cap space, I might be willing to go out on a limb and sign him just to see what happens. Because if I do get LeBron, I understand that he doesn't just want to play with his son. He wants to play with his son and compete. So that getting LeBron will also come with a domino effect, and you'll be able to sign other players, trade for other players as well.
It'll be interesting to see if people think that's true or not. Because if that's true, he's going to go either top 10 or the first 10 picks of the second round. That's my prediction.
They say the Mavericks got a second round pick.
So 30, 29 other teams. Caitlin Clark's WNBA introduction this past, what, week and a half?
Yeah.
She's already helping her and this group of rookies because they had some sort of personality
Angel
in
Reese.
college. It moved into the WNBA, and that
Super
attention went
dope.
to the WNBA.
Super
Super
dope.
dope. Super,
This was
super
a
dope.
special class. This is one of those like 2003 NBA draft class, like special class in Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, just the whole first round actually. But man, they hating on my baby girl Caitlin. Hey, they're doing her dirty, man. They got her running into blind brick wall screens and tumbling. They got her, turning the ball over like crazy. They got her arguing with the refs. They got her on the floor. They doing her dirty, and obviously, got to be misogynistic somehow. But I think it's just we're seeing the female hate come out. Females never been embracing of one another. Come on, Tyler. We got to keep it real. Hey, when there's females in the room and another female comes in, are they on some like, oh, like who come here? No, they're on some like who the hell? Like, look at what she's doing. Like it's always like that. So it's the
Who the
same thing
hell?
here. Like when it's a new girl coming to school and she got like the track record, the history, everyone's gonna be hating. It's gonna be rough in the beginning. And I think it's the same thing for Caitlin Clark. She was her before she got to the WNBA. She was, bigger than the WNBA in college. So the fact that she's gonna come in, take all that spotlight, has a crazy $1 million brand deal. Of course, other females are gonna hate, and we've already seen it. We've already seen it. But with that being said, this is her numbers from her first 4 games. First two are pretty rough, but to me, what's impressive is she was still able to sneak in, 2 20+ point games. First game was 20 points, huge L, 10 turnovers. It was terrible, but like I said, I was impressed on the points part. Second game was 9 points, huge L as well. But then the third game is really when I think she started to turn up.
It
She had,
clicked. Yeah.
yes, 22, 6, and 8. Closer game, they only lost by 9. Then the next game, she had 17, 3, and 5, only lost by 6. So you can
I
see
mean,
her improving from game to game. And pretty much my whole point of saying everything is I think she'll be all right. I still think she'll be great. I haven't so much stock in her. I think she just, is gonna have a rough time. And it also reminds me of Lonzo Ball.
mm,
His welcome into the NBA was super rough, but that's because his dad put a target in his back. In Caitlin's case, I never really seen her do anything that's outlandish or anything. I mean, I might have seen her trash talking on the court. I might have seen her, do the you can't see me on the court here and there, but to get this kind of hate, I haven't really seen nothing justifiable for this. This is crazy.
man, I saw some things on Angel Reese, how stuff she's doing off court, and good looks to her. But every time I look at her now, I always think back to the moment when she lost and she played victim. I was like,
Right.
oh shit, that's not a good look, and that's stained in my head now.
But even her, she's getting a warm welcome. Like she's
She's getting the warm welcome, yeah.
exactly. So it's just like and she had a more controversial, career coming in. So that's why I'm saying I think a lot of it is hate, envy, jealousy, that those type of things.
Hey, Michael Jordan came in the league like that. First 3 years, people did not fuck with him. He had to earn everybody's respect because he
Right.
was the highest marketed athlete coming in before he even touched the ball. And older guys were like, "Fuck this guy," played him hard, played him rough. That's what they're doing to her. Hey, we might be talking this later, 15 years later. Caitlin Clark, she might be a goat. But anything else on the NBA or
Nah, man.
WNBA?
That's it. I'm good on
All
the
right.
hoop talk.
Last thing we want to get into deeper than sports. I'm gonna go first today. If you could go back to any event in history, what would it be?
I gotta see what Jesus Christ was doing for real, fam.
Oh wow, I didn't even think of that.
I gotta see what the buzz around the town was when he came to visit. I gotta see
Yo,
like what the hype was
that's good.
about. I gotta see like what I have been a believer, what I have not been, and that I think that's one of the most important moments in history for sure.
Yo, that's a great answer. I didn't think of that, to be honest.
This man over here thinking about when the fucking first cheeseburger was made or some shit.
No, 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 no. For me, it would either be I have two. One is more serious than the other. My serious one would be that I have a dream speech, being at the crowd, being somewhere in that crowd. That would be really cool.
That hit different.
Yeah, and then non-sports, like non-sports, I would say that I have a dream speech. Just to be there, see what that was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
and to, see it with your own eyes.
Yeah.
And then my not as serious one would be, um, in the 50s and 60s, television was new, and that was a main event. That was a main thing that the whole country, the whole world would do at the same time.
Tune
And
in.
I would want to see or even be there with like young Elvis, seeing him come up because he was like the first mega super duper 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 star. And so
First televised star.
he was like, I mean, his career is on TV. So
Yeah.
I would say that.
Fascinating. My question to you, my thing with these questions is like I try not to ask a generic question. I try to genuinely ask like something that I'm curious about. So a lot of times it's a more personal type question, but what was like your favorite? Wait, first of all, let me give a little bit backstory. So for those that don't know, in high school, we was them, right?
I don't know about
No,
that.
wait, stop. No, don't talk, Tyler. We don't need your humble. We don't need your humbleness right now.
I
In
don't
high
know about that,
school,
bro.
no, wait, chill. High school, we was them. You could look at the receipts. People had grills in their teeth. People had Jordans in their feet, cash in their pocket. Like it was different, fam. Anyways, this man, Tyler, had a donk, Chevy Impala on 24s, 315s in the back. And then he talking about no, 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 no. We wasn't them. We wasn't nothing. Listen to what I'm saying to you. High school senior pulling up and a donk, 24-inch rims, 315 subs in the back. Normally, people that have those is not in high school. Normally, that's a kingpin in the hood type. Feel me? So in that car, we had so many memorable rides, and a big part of being in that car, the experience was the music because of the bass, and he had like individual speakers for the vocals, and it was a whole setup. So my question is like, what was your favorite or most memorable song in that era, like to bump in that car?
Shoot, I don't know about a song, but I would say artist would be Gucci.
I
That
need a
first
song, fam. I said song.
song,
Come
bro,
on, fam.
you're minimizing like
Oh, I
thousands of
said
songs.
song. I didn't say artist. What was your
All
favorite,
right.
most memorable song? Even if it ain't the most, what is just one that stands out to you that was like, nah, I remember this one when it hit was like this one crazy.
Probably On the Pill by Wiz.
Woo!
Because that bass was so different and the whole car was, I mean, the bass was ridiculous, bro.
Wait, wait,
That was a one
wait.
of one, bro. That was one of one for real.
First of all, I haven't heard or thought about that song in over 7 years. I don't why is that song not why is that not on my library, fam?
Because I think that song is good. It's a good song. But in the car when we would bump it, it was so much better. So when I listen to it now, on the rare occasion, it really, really doesn't hit the same. Either that song or Mesmerized was like those were which like two of my
So wait,
favorites.
there's the on the pill that was on the burner dot roller. What is it?
Burn After Rolling.
Burn after. Yeah, hey, thank you, fam. You see, you were trying to sell me out with the Gucci, and you had that gem just sitting there.
I mean, it's
I just
like
had to
that.
dig deeper. I had to dig deeper. That
Yeah,
was
you're
it.
right.
But
You're right. You're
had
right.
that gem sitting there,
You're
man.
right.
On the pill. Wow. Shout out my OG Wiz Khalifa fans,
What
man.
about you?
I got two. It was just one time, me and Dilly, we first heard the I think what was that guy that was signed to T Pain? That was like T Pain's protege, Young Cash,
Holy shit.
wasn't it?
Hell yeah. I didn't know that was T-Pain's guy.
Was that his name? Yes, it
Young Cash.
was.
Hell
Yes,
yeah.
it was. I ain't even had to Google it. Young Cash. I'm trying to stack me a million. Bro, what? You remember that
Yo,
one?
yeah. Yeah,
That
hell yeah.
one that one
One in
in
a
a
million beat.
million. One in a
Yeah.
million Aaliyah cover. I remember when me and Dilly first heard that fresh off of L, our minds was blown. Like when you have a listening experience where you really just forget about everything and you just in the song, nothing else is going on, was one of those. And honorable mention for sure was The Man on the Moon 2.
Oh shit, yeah.
That song, that whole album,
The
specifically
whole
that
album.
song, Don't Play This Song with Mary J. Blige.
Hmm.
That one hit different too.
And I remember one time someone rode with us one time and their ear started bleeding in the
Hey,
back.
hold on. Shout out. This is
Like
what
that
I'm
shit.
saying. Honorable
Yeah,
mention. Shout out my boy Juan Lopez. He came to ride with us one day, and yeah, bro, music was bumping so
that's
crazy.
right.
Ears started bleeding for real.
I
And
felt
he was
bad.
cool with it. He was laughing
Yeah,
and
he
it
was
kept
straight.
bumping. But that's how crazy the bass was. To me, what it would do is it would like tickle my nose like crazy. So I'll just be like scratching my nose the whole time. That was the only crazy effect it gave me. But damn, nah, that's what's up. Nah, that was legendary bumping music. Like I really understood, like, bro, there's different levels of experience in music. Like you could really experience music on a deeper level if you got a crazy car system.
Hell
You
yeah.
feel me? Like do whatever you gotta do, take a ride, zone in late night or whatever.
That shit will
You get the
change you, bro.
experience a little different. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
There was there's like a throwback weekend song that it was have much didn't have much bass, but just how loud I used to how I had it. how much vocals? That shit was
That
like
was the
mind
tweeters,
bending.
right? That's what it was called, the tweeters on the
Yeah, the
vocals.
tweeters. I mean, I had tweeters, 6x9, 6.5s. I had a great setup, bro. That
But the
shit was
weekend song, that was more on the solo dolo tip. You wasn't bumping
yeah,
that.
it was like super late night.
Right,
Yeah, it
right,
was
right.
that was like after high school.
Right, right, right.
I don't
Nah,
remember which song, but there was one song. It was just like the vocals were piercing, but like when the bass came in and dropped,
yeah.
yeah, it was definitely like a nighttime song. You feel me? But man, that's what's up. That's cool. That was a great question. I'm gonna try to get a little bit more personnel. Anything else you want to add to the episode? For I'll let you go.
Nah, man. That's it. Great talking to you. For my people out there, I just want to let y'all know. Send us a message if you want to be on. Send us a message if you want to talk. Let us know what you got going on, your opinions, hot takes, anything. Chop it up. Come chop it up.
All right, man. You have a good night. I'll holler at you later, bro.
All right, bro, for
Enjoy the
sure.
playoffs, baby.
Yes, sir.